All right, we are going to go over line 23, Merrily We Roll Along on snare drum. There are a lot of things about this line that are new, but a lot of things about it that aren't so bad. For one, we only have quarter notes and quarter rests, so that part makes it a little bit easier. But if you're looking, some of these stems have something kind of weird in them. It looks like a Z, so my brain, I always like to call these Z strokes. Really, they are multiple bounce strokes, just meaning that instead of when we normally play snare drum where one note gets one hit, like that, these notes with the multiple bounce stroke little Z writing actually get multiple. So if you're using your Vic Firth sticks or whatever sticks you have at home, you're gonna make sure your thumb goes on the flags if you're using Vic Firth, index fingers wrap around, just like this, and then your other fingers kind of wrap around the stick, nice and loose. We want that knocking on the door motion, making sure that it is coming from your wrist, not from your arms. We're not gonna do any weird conducting with our sticks, batons today. So we're just gonna take a moment and practice getting multiple bounces. So make sure that your grip is good and tight, not too loose, not too tight though. And you're just gonna let one of your hands play, it'll be the multiple bounces. Now alternate hands. Now alternate like this. Now, once you've established that you've got a bunch of little bounces, I like to think of it that I'm playing into the drum a little bit when I have multiple bounce stroke rolls. It makes the roll just a little bit tighter and a little bit cleaner. This is a way of sustaining the sound through a quarter note. So, we're going to play through line 23, Merrily We Roll Along. I don't have a metronome today, so we're all going to tap our foot and count our rhythm. We're just going to play the first four measures. 1, 2, ready, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. Now, you're going to notice measures 2, 3, 4 are exactly the same. And then measure 6 and measure 8 look similar. The only difference is that the sticking is different. So, let's just practice those measures where we have 2 beats. So the first one we're going to start, it's measure 2. It's going to be left, right, left. And we want the rolls to be as close together as possible, so it almost sounds like it's continuing. Now, we're going to try right, left, right. Ready, measure 6 and go. Again. So you're going to be able to physically feel your stick kind of going up and down multiple times. And I love the visual at the very top of the page where it's left, 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 left. So the L's are getting smaller, the notes are getting smaller and a little bit quieter as they go along because you're not putting any more energy into it. So now that we've been working on our rolls, let's try Merrily We Roll Along from the top. Notice that in measure 4, we start again with our right hand leading instead of not measure 4. Measure 5 is where our right hand starts leading again. Because at the beginning, our left hand starts leading. All right, we're going to start with tapping our foot. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. 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 Okay, and you might notice when you're playing that one of your hands gets a better bounce than the other. That's completely normal. Just like you might be right-handed or left-handed, but one of your arms is going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit better at first. So we just have to work on trying to even them out. I know for me that my right hand, I am right-handed, so all my right multiple bounce strokes are a little bit better than my left ones, and that's okay. So if you ever just want to work on it, always start with your weaker hand. So for me, and for the majority of the human population, it's going to be starting with your left. So it's easy just to keep going and practice one hand at a time, just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then figuring out what works. How do you get the most bounces? How do you get it to be a little bit longer? But That is something that you can work out on your own, or if you just want to repeat the last 30 seconds and do that with me, that also works. Once again, that was line 23, Merrily We Roll Along on snare drum.